everyone, it's Holly and welcome to my non-spoiler review of Everything Between Us by Mila Ferrera. And this is a new adult novel. I've actually read it twice now, so I thought I would review it. And I read this as an ebook, so I don't have like a book to show you, and I just use Windows Movie Maker, so I can't put like pretty pictures or anything up. I wish I could, but I can't. So this is a new adult novel. It's definitely a weird one. It follows two characters, Daniel and Stella suffers from anxiety, and her anxiety has particularly gotten bad, and she won't leave her parents' home. She's left college, and her mom is very upset about this and ends up hiring a artist to come over and do like art therapy with her every day. And her mom is not understanding at all of how anxiety works and just thinks Stella needs to get over it. But what makes the story weird is that Daniel, who is that artist, is sleeping with Stella's mom to make some money on the side. And obviously he and Stella have a relationship as the story progresses. So it's definitely a little weird, but for some reason it works. Like, normally this kind of story would make me like really cringe, and it kind of does, but it works for some reason. I don't know. I did give it 4.5 stars. Like I said, it is new adult. It does have sexually explicit content, but I think it's done very well, and the characters are great. So let's talk about the characters. So the story is told in dual POV, so Stella and Daniel both have chapters from their perspectives. And Daniel is an incredibly likable guy. Like, you would think he maybe come off as like an ass or something, and he basically is a prostitute, but he is a nice person, and he cares about his family, and he cares about his art but isn't like super pretentious about it. And I like that within this story he has his own journey. I think a lot of times in new adult, even when they're told in dual POV, the female character's story becomes the main focus, and I would say her journey is definitely more than his, but he does have his own growth arc, and it's nice to see. Stella, I really connected with her. I don't think that's a surprise. I have anxiety, and so a lot of her feelings make sense to me, and I think it's handled very well. And she has anxiety without like a specific causing event. Like, she hasn't suffered a major trauma, and that's a lot how my anxiety is. And it's nice to see an author explore that side of anxiety. She's also surprisingly funny and likable. Like, she doesn't want to be the way that she is, and she can be a little biting sometimes. The plot, Stella's personal recovery and journey with her anxiety is definitely my favorite part of the story. And I love the art part of it, like how art helps them kind of connect, and how the way that they both approach art informs how they see each other. Like, Stella looks at Daniel's art and sees him, sees what he's, parts of him that he's trying to show or trying to hide through it. And then there's the romance. Like I said before, it works. I don't understand how it works, but it totally works. And it has to deal with some really realistic couple problems, which I really like reading about. I don't know how much I talk about this on my videos, but I talk about this a lot in my reviews, where I talk about couples having to deal with real problems, and especially when you're not in a paranormal or supernatural world, you have to face real issues, and I personally enjoy that in a story because I think it's more realistic. And Stella's concerns when it comes to a romance and having a relationship and her anxiety are my personal concerns. So I root for her, and I root for them as a couple. My one main complaint about this story, and this is why I got 4.5 stars from me both times, when I was rereading it, I was like, why didn't this get 5 stars? And then the ending happened, and I was like, this is why I didn't give it 5 stars. The ending is super abrupt. I think there's a lot of unresolved issues going on at the ending, larger outside of them issues that I think needed some sort of resolution. Even an epilogue, maybe. There were just some things left unresolved. But I did really enjoy it. I think it's a great new adult novel. I would definitely recommend it if you like new adult or if you like romance. It is definitely on the angsty side. It does deal heavily with anxiety. It is in first person. I know some people don't like to read anxiety. It triggers their personal anxiety, but I don't have that problem. But just know that going in, it does delve into Stella's personal issues. If you don't like that, I would stay away. But if you are open to any of those things, I highly recommend it. I think it's very well written. I like the other book in the series, which is, what is that? I don't remember what it's called, but it's the first one. But it's like a companion series. You can read them in whatever order. It's a great new adult book, and I do recommend it. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.